You're listening to Texas Real Estate with Todd Tremonti, brought to you by the Patrick Glaros Mortgage Team, Stryker Roofing, DP Lambert with Goosehead Insurance, Nation's Home Warranty, Evolution Moving, Backyard Workroom, Republic Title, Keen Landscaping, and Dandy Duck Cleaning. And now your host, real estate broker, consultant, and best-selling author, Todd Tremonti.
It's March, ladies and gentlemen. It's March. Welcome to the spring real estate market, and welcome to spring everywhere. It hasn't felt a lot like spring lately. We've had some spring showers, which have been nice. But the market, the grass, the trees are all starting to look like spring. Now, is this the first time we've talked about spring here on this show? No, it's not. We've been talking about the spring real estate market since pretty much fall because the market has been bananas, and it still is. Now, we're going to get into it in depth this show about what the spring market means, what that means for you, but we've been talking for several weeks in a row now, and to be honest, starting to sound a little bit like a broken record about the mistakes that buyers are making, hurrying out into the market without a great agent, without a set budget, without a great plan, and getting absolutely steamrolled by sellers and agents and the speed and pace and competition of this market. We've been talking for several weeks now, months even, about how sellers are hurrying out into the market without a plan, without a great agent, without a clear strategy, without a way to keep yourself from being homeless, and leaving lots and lots of money on the table and feeling like they're winning on one side and failing on the other. And I'm here today to talk more about the solution and less about the problem. Right? The problem is people hurrying. The problem is not seeking expertise. The problem is thinking that, cheap commission or a cheap agent or a cheap inspection or, whatever is what's best for you. Hopefully we have done a good job of educating that cheap is almost never the best thing for you. Trust me, I like to save money, but at some point saving money on cost, fee, preparation, things like that, or even time, feeling like you're saving time by hurrying can end up costing you a lot of time, a lot of stress, and certainly a lot of money in the end. So that's the problem. We've stated that for weeks and weeks and weeks now. We will be glad to answer questions today. You can send those in 214-310-0008, 214-310-0008, or of course you can always send questions, ask questions, connect with one of our amazing Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team agents, all of that online at overunderagent.com. But what we're going to talk about more today is the solution and the strategy that you do want to employ, right? We've talked about what not to do and what lots of people are doing that's hurting them. We'll talk about what you can do that can really help you. We do have a full studio today, the Keen Landscaping Studio. We've got producer extraordinaire, the young MG, Mason Goss himself, producer of all things audio, visual, and digital. You should check all the audio, visual, and digital stuffs out online at overunderagent.com. You can click the YouTube tab and all sorts of other things up at the top. See past shows and all sorts of audio clips and things that can help educate you and equip you and build your confidence towards buying, selling, investing, or just enjoying owning your home. Welcome, Mason.
Thanks for having me. We had a great clip last week about a couple companies, iBuyer companies, and why they are flippers. I think that's a good word to use to describe them. And if you want to know more about that, tthsd.tv.
That's right. You can go straight to tthsd.tv, or you can go over to overunderagent.com. There's a little tab at the top. You can just click tthsd.tv. If all else fails and you forget how to get a hold of us or any of our recommendations or any of our friends in the business, always start at overunderagent.com. The tabs across the top will get you just about any place you need to be. Now, folks, listen, the studio's full. It's not just me. It's not just the young MG. The Yanni Donnie is here as well. The Yanni Donnie, the English wonder himself, Ian Daniels, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just get to it. Let's ask him the question that everybody's wanting to ask. Ian, how English are you going to be today?
I'm more feeling just depressed right now because...
that's very English.
It is very English. Because this past week, our Christmas decorations came down.
Oh, that's so sad since it is officially March and we open the show with references to spring, which is literally a season and a half, almost 2 full seasons from Christmas. We'll call it 1 full season.
I got good news for you, though. we still
a
have
remnant?
the seasonal themed tree.
Okay.
3 feet ish.
Right.
That is now the St. Patty's Day tree.
That feels right.
Yep.
For the month of March.
Mm-hmm.
Still not 100% with you on leaving that same tree in the living room year round, but I do appreciate that it does alternate celebrations.
It
Now,
does.
I enjoy the Christmas
We cover
celebration
all of them.
year round, but
We
the
cover
St.
them all.
Patty's Day tree is quite original.
We cover them all. Middlesbrough, I know you're interested.
Oh, there it is.
Lost one, drew one, wasn't a good week. Since I said we were undefeated after our conversation with Uncle Neil, we haven't won a game. Since I said that last week, that's on me.
Where are we on the table?
Still in 7th. We're
Those are the
still
standings.
one spot outside of the playoffs.
They call it the table across the pond.
Big week this week. 2 big games. Gosh. Big games.
And that's it for your English Football Minute, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you can handle. It's also all I think Ian can handle before he starts ripping the studio apart.
Up the burrow.
Moving back to real estate, all things real estate across the great state of Texas, residential. And we focus, of course, here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area because that's where we are, the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team with offices in Richardson and Fort Worth. Of course, we would be thrilled to earn your business when it's time for you to buy, sell, or invest in residential real estate anywhere in the state of Texas, especially in North Texas. But the show is not only for folks that are buying, selling, or investing. In a way, we're all investing, even if we're renting. It's a poor investment for some people. Renting makes sense in the short term for a lot of people. Financial sense, of course, it makes lifestyle sense if that's your best option. But we are here for you regardless of whether you're renting, living with friends, family, buying, selling, or investing. The show is for you. We're here to be an advocate for you, to be a resource for you, even if you have another real estate agent, as long as they are a full-time, fully dedicated expert with a team around them, then that's a great thing. But if you don't have that, if you don't have a full-time, fully dedicated, world-class expert with a team around them of some sort, doesn't really matter what they call it, but other professionals, other experts around them to help deliver world-class value for you from start through closing and beyond forever and ever. If you don't have that, then you need to go to overunderagent.com, connect with us at an absolute minimum. We can get you set up for a once-a-month market update email where we just let you know, here's what's going on in the market, here's some data, here's our interpretation of that data, and then you'll be in contact with us if you ever need anything at all. If all else fails, head over to overunderagent.com. You can call or text right now or anytime throughout the week with real estate questions of any kind at 214-310-0008. Just save that phone number in your phone and call or text anytime. 214-310-0008. You can save that as Todd Tremonti Broker, Todd Tremonti Radio Show, Todd Realtor, whatever you want. Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team, anytime. 214-310-0008 or overunderagent.com. We are here in the Keen Landscaping Studios, and this first segment is brought to you by Patrick Glaros and his amazing team of mortgage lenders over at Cardinal Financial. They spent some time with us here in the office. We had lunch together last week. Patrick was here. Rick was here. The rest of the gang was back at the office holding down the fort. But they believe what I believe. They believe that God gives people unique gifts and abilities. And so teams deliver more value, right? When you've got an expert at taking that loan application and figuring out which loan options are best for people. And then you have an expert at the actual origination process, and you have another expert to process that loan and take it through underwriting and beyond. That's how Patrick Glaros and his team over at Cardinal Financial will handle that mortgage process for you. So whether you're thinking about buying, refinancing, buying a vacation home, buying a second home, buying an investment property of any kind, I want you to head over to patrickglaros.com. That's Glaros, patrickglaros.com. Or, of course, if you ever forget any of our recommendations, any of our approved vendors, you can just go to overunderagent.com and find them all there.
You can go to valuethishouse.com if you do not know what your home is worth or what it would rent for. It's going to take you less than 60 seconds to put your information in. It's going to send you an automated valuation. Now, look, if you get the automated valuation and it's not exactly what you think it's going to be, you don't need to verbally or theoretically or whatever the word is, yell at me through email that the numbers are off. Just let us know that you would like something a little bit more custom. It is automated. We don't hide that. It's automated. We want to give you the most accurate information we can. If the data's not there, it's not going to be able to pull that. Just let us know. I would like something more custom. We'll call you, we'll reach you, we'll talk to you, and we will get that over to you. I promise. ValueThisHouse.com.
The big benefit of ValueThisHouse.com is it is automated, but it's automated based on accurate, timely local data. A lot of those big national, conglomerate sites are not only nationwide, but sometimes worldwide, and they don't have timely, accurate local data. So it's the best automated tool that is out there. ValueThisHouse.com.
It was within $3,000 of my home's value.
Yeah.
So
and Ian might be somewhat sensitive because of an ungrateful person this week that took advantage of a free tool and then was super rude about the response, as opposed to just saying, "Could you help me out?" It's basically saying you're an idiot. So
yeah, I let these things go, Todd. I don't
right.
hold a grudge.
Clearly.
I don't hold a grudge. Hey, look, we've got a question, okay?
All right.
What is the number one mistake that sellers are doing as they prep for this spring-summer market?
Okay, I'm going to answer that. And then I promised at the top of the show that we would spend more time on the right thing to do and solutions than the mistake. So I'll give you the mistake, and then I'll give you a recommendation with it, right? The biggest mistake sellers are making as they get ready for market right now is not getting ready for market. They just jump straight on the market. So that's a less direct answer. I'll give you some more details. But my point is, a lot of sellers are not doing anything uniquely, putting forth any real effort to get ready. They're just, hurry up, put a sign out. Someone will buy it. The market's crazy. And what that's causing them to do is to leave tens of thousands of dollars on the table. They are probably going to sell, and they are probably going to sell quickly. And they are probably going to sell at a number that sounds and feels really good to them. But there's a gap between that number and what they were capable of. And that number we are seeing lately is tens of thousands of, that's not a thing we're just saying. Mm-hmm. We're seeing people at 25, 35. The other day I saw one that we decided was about $42,000 that our buyer was able to get less than we think that seller could have got that home sold for.
Yep.
But everything about it showed a very clear path of what I would call cockiness, of overconfidence, right? The market, because it is really strong for sellers. There's no arguing that. We're not denying that. But because of the strength for sellers are becoming lazy. They are
greedy in a lot of
They
ways.
are lacking appreciation for expertise, which could guide them to a better outcome. And they are lowering the amount of research and that they do and questions that they ask. So although greed is what's driving them to that, ironically, they are not getting the full financial benefit. So what they want is the most money, and the logical, instinctive approach to that leads to less money.
Well, and I think, unfortunately, they're not being guided through the process by an expert, right? They're not. They're in a lot of ways dictating what's going to happen, as opposed to listening to a trusted authority figure.
Yep. I'll go so far, and I'll be respectful and careful here, but I had a conversation with my brother who lives in a different market. I referred him and introduced him to a real estate agent that we've trained in that market. We have a coaching and consulting company where we train agents all over the country. So if you ever need an agent in another market, just go to overunderagent.com and ask us for that too, and we'll point you towards a great agent in another part of the state or another part of the country or even in Canada. Now, I was talking to him about this exact same thing. Basically the lack of respect, the lack of seeing a need of having a true expert, right? Yeah. The feeling that, look, the market's hot. It doesn't really matter who I have do this. No, it does matter, especially if your price of your home is, you say, $300,000 or above, which virtually everything is. I checked the numbers a couple of days ago in Richardson, Texas, which is where our main office is. There were below $300,000. There was three, count them, three homes on the market.
That's insane. Hey, speaking of experts, let me tell you really quickly about DP Lambert over at Goosehead Insurance. He really is an expert in what he does. It's why we trust him. It's why I personally use DP to do some refinancing, and he's got all of my insurance on the home and the auto. He saved us $2,000. Todd, you have your home, your auto, everything.
DP on everything DP can insure.
Most of our team has worked with DP. He is a fantastic communicator. He will take great care of you and all of your insurance needs. You can reach DP by going to dplambert@goosehead.com. You can email him there, dp.lambert@goosehead.com, or call him at 214-838-5684. It's 214-838-5684.
Now, we promised we would talk more about solutions than problems, right? So the problem is people are hurrying out. People are not trusting expertise. Now, look, clearly we are real estate experts, so we're biased. There's no arguing that. We think people should hire a real estate agent, or we wouldn't be real estate agents and brokers and trainers and radio show hosts, right? But here's the deal. The solution to the root of your question, how are people making mistakes prepping to sell? What should they be doing to prep to sell? Well, the first thing you should do is get an expert involved that can introduce you to or connect you to or warn you from the right vendors, the wrong vendors, whether that's staging, photography, pre-inspection, appraisers, roofers, plumbers, electrician, painters, landscapers, all those things, right? But I'm going to go a slightly different route because everyone knows that we believe that, right? Even if it's not us, you need a world-class real estate expert. If you have complicated tax implications, you don't do your own taxes. You hire an expert. If you have complicated legal issues, you don't handle your own legal issues. You go hire an attorney. Almost every real estate transaction in the history of the world is complicated. Get an expert. Don't risk it. It's not worth it. You think you're saving on commissions and you're losing on 20 or 30 different things, including money. But there's a lot more to this than money. Time, energy, stress, liability, relationships. Man, in this market, we see people trying to buy houses from their neighbors and their family, and then we see horrible broken friendships and relationships.
Yep.
It can be done, but bring a professional in, even if it's not the Todd Tremonti home selling team. Make sure it is a professional, and they're full-time, and they're dedicated, and they are an expert, and they're surrounded by a team of experts. Even if it's not structured like ours, make sure they have other pros to help.
And hopefully they have a track record, like we have a track record, of this level of success over an extended period of time, right? We're averaging the numbers we average, not just over the last couple of months.
Right.
This is over the last several years.
Decade. 15, 18 years for most of that stuff. All right. It's not all about us. You can find us online at overunderagent.com, But to the root of that question, let's just answer it in reverse.
Sure.
What are some good things people can do to prep their house for market? Now, get a great agent. That's a given. Get a great lender if you're going to be buying after that, those kind of things. But it is early March. Landscaping still looks like January, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't look good. But this is the time of year, basically right now for the next week and a half, 2 weeks, to do some simple things like put down a pre-emergent weed killer. If you're going to do something like that, this is the time to do that, right? And then in about 90 days, you need to do it again. It's like getting a shot and then a booster shot, right?
Yep.
Put down that pre-emergent. That will basically kill your weed seeds, weeds that have seeds. It'll knock those out. And then in about 90 days, you put in another one. Now, if you're planning on selling your house tomorrow, this isn't going to help you. But if you're thinking about getting your home sold late in the spring or summer, this is a big thing you can do that's very easy to do, that's very low cost, that's going to make your yard look good. That's just one example of my bigger point of start thinking now about your landscape and how you want it to look in April or May, because if you're starting to think about selling now, that may be when you actually want to sell. Now, simple things on the inside. Look at your lighting. Look at your light bulbs. Look at how rooms are reflecting light and looking. Clean your grout. Paint your baseboards. Paint your trim. If you have a small budget to add a lot of value, focus it on the kitchen or the master bathroom, right? Those are the two places that swing buyers' decisions more than anything. Landscaping near the front door is very good. Kitchens and bathrooms are good. Lighting is one of the more affordable ways to impact your home inside and outside, by the way. Landscape lighting is a huge one. By the way, Keen Landscaping, I love what they do. They do a bunch at my house too. They do some amazing landscaping stuff as well. So find them over on our website as well. Keen Landscaping does great stuff with lighting. But my point is those are some things people can do to get a home ready for market. I'm going to end with one final thing on that one question, and then we might have time for one more. Eliminate the negatives before you start adding positives. If you're getting your home ready to put it on the market, eliminate negatives before you add positives. If there's a busted hole in the sheetrock, fix that before you paint the dining room. If there's a cracked tile, fix that before you replace your windows. If the front door is old and worn out, stain it or replace it or paint it before you go adding new features, okay? Speaking of replacing and repairing things, I want to talk to you guys about Nation's Home Warranty. We guarantee that every buyer who buys a home with us will get a home warranty, and Nations is one of those companies that does a really, really good job with home warranties. What is a home warranty? It's like a little bitty mini insurance plan. It's not insurance, but it's like that, where if one of the major systems in your home fails, you call the home warranty company. They'll send out a plumber or an electrician or an appliance person or whatever that is. You just pay a little bitty copay fee. It's a trip fee. It's like $60 or $70. And then they send someone out to cover the rest. Now, they're not going to solve the world's problems and replace roofs and massive air conditioning units, but they're going to keep things running and repair them to save you from those headaches. I tell people home warranties help us sleep better at night, especially the first year or two you're in a home. Find them online at home-warranty.com. That's Nation's Home Warranty online at home-warranty.com. Now, 214-310-0008 to get us your questions day or night during the show or not. And you can always find the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team online at overunderagent.com. Hey, folks, in the time of COVID, Dandy Duct Cleaning is out taking care of duct cleaning and antibacterial blasts all through your air handling system in your house to keep germs and viruses and nasty stuff out of your home. If you're a listener of the show or a client of the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team, go to dandyductcleaning.com, tell them Todd Tremonti sent you, and check out their hospital-grade antibacterial systems in the house, as well as, if you need it, a full-on duct cleaning service, right? They can literally get in there with kind of the vacuum and the broom and get all the lint and funky stuff out of your ducts. If you have allergies and you're moving into a new home, if there's been a smoker in the home, if there have been pets in the home, even if you don't have allergies, if there are years and years and years of that stuff building up, you are either going to limit the life of your AC system because it's all gunked up, or you're limiting the quality of the air in your home. Go to dandyductcleaning.com. That's dandyductcleaning.com. Now, if you forget any of the names of our approved vendors, of the folks that we like to recommend our clients and our friends to, then I want you to always just go to overunderagent.com, where you can click a link and find all of them as we update them and add them and things change. So overunderagent.com is a really safe place for all that. If you've got any questions about real estate, head over to overunderagent.com. Remember, folks, we only introduce you to recommended professionals because they've done a great job for us and our clients. So check out Patrick Glaros Mortgage Team, Stryker Roofing, Nation's Home Warranty, DP Lambert with Goosehead Insurance, Evolution Moving, Dandy Duct Cleaning, Backyard Workroom, Republic Title, and Keen Landscaping. We'll be right back with more Texas real estate on WBAP.
Welcome back to Texas Real Estate with Todd Tremonti, brought to you by the Patrick Glaros Mortgage Team, Dandy Duct Cleaning, Republic Title, DP Lambert with Goose Insurance, and Nation Home Warranty. And now your host, Todd Tremonti.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the show. We spent about the first half of the show talking about problems as well as some solutions. But I want to reiterate the point here, and we are in the Keen Landscaping Studios, and I'm pretty fired up about what Keen's doing out at my house right now, so I want the world to know about him. But we're fired up about solutions as well, right? It seems like the entire real estate market, buyers, sellers, and sadly, real estate agents are out in the market running scared right now, okay? Buyers are scared, as they should be, if they're not prepared, of having to overpay and missing out on houses. Smart sellers are scared of being impulsive and leaving money on the table. And agents are scared of low inventory. A lot of agents have only ever been a real estate agent in a seller's market. And even those have never seen inventory levels this low. We were talking earlier on the show about Richardson has had 3 total houses under $300,000 the other day. So very similar numbers for Plano, Allen, Benbrook, Weatherford, Aledo, West Fort Worth. I mean, it's just crazy. But we're going to spend this entire remainder of the show on how to win big in this market, because we are helping clients win big in this market every single day. I can't wait to tell you stories of how it is possible for buyers to buy homes below market value right now. And it is possible for sellers to be 100% certain that they got every penny available to them, right? Now, that doesn't sound normal. And lots of agents aren't talking about this. And certainly I don't know anybody in the media talking about it. As a matter of fact, I was interviewed on another radio show this week, and I was asked about multiple headlines, all saying that Dallas was slipping and the market wasn't as good anymore, which I audibly laughed at the interviewer, not to be rude, but just because that's a ridiculous headline. But people writing headlines don't care about informing buyers, sellers, and investors. They care about getting people to read their stuff. And on the one hand, I do blame them. On the other hand, I kind of don't, because it's not their job necessarily to advocate for buyers and sellers. Now, it is if they say it is. And I think the editors of certain papers and certain shows are saying they do that. But that's a topic for a whole nother day. We are here to talk about solutions and talking about how to win big in this real estate market. I want to just tell you a story about a buyer, or Ian can tell you a story about a buyer here real quick. I just want to kick off this segment of the show by showing you what is possible for a home buyer in this market. I think we've got a story that of a buyer that Leah on our team in our Fort Worth office helped a buyer achieve in the last 10 days.
I'm going to give you 2 stories.
Okay.
Before I do that, let me tell you just who this segment is brought to you by. It's brought to you by Patrick Glaros with Cardinal Financial. I had the opportunity to work with Patrick twice last year. He helped us refinance on our personal property, and then he helped us with a loan on an investment property. Yep. And that was in a different state, and we called Patrick, and he said, I can totally help you. Melanie, Rick, the entire team just did a phenomenal job communicating with us, getting us the best rates they could possibly get for us. Such a smooth, seamless transaction working with Patrick and the entire team over there at Cardinal Financial. You can reach Patrick by going to patrickglaros.com or by calling 972-728-3420. 972-728-3420. patrickglaros.com. That's Patrick Glaros with Cardinal Financial, NMLS number 308804. 2 stories for you. Ready? Mm-hmm. First one comes from Leah, who helped her buyer get a property that it was under contract, and then it appraised way high. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then she was managed to get $40,000 off of that appraised value.
Now, let me just stop and make sure people understand what you're saying.
Yes.
Because I think by now our market's been hot and heavy for so long, years and years and years, that people understand the idea of a home not hitting the appraisal value.
Right.
I think most people kind of have an idea of what that means, right? Buyer was willing to pay $500, it only appraised for $475.
Yep.
That's kind of normal. Here's what's not normal, and is not only not normal, this is like unicorn rare. In the current market, if a home appraises for, say, $500, it's documented by a neutral third party that it is worth every bit of $500, and then a buyer gets it for $460 or $470 or something. Everyone's aware on paper, this buyer got this home below what that is insane.
Right.
That is not happening. Now, just clarify that story maybe one more time for folks to fully understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so Leah went under contract. They paid over what the house was listed at. Mm-hmm. The appraiser then came out and said it's not worth what you're paying for it. Mm-hmm. It's worth X amount. Mm-hmm. So in a market right now where a lot of people are having to sign appraisal waivers and just kind of give up all of that, or the seller just saying, we don't care, we'll go back on the market, you need to bring us this money. Leah said, no, that's not in the best interest of my clients. I'm going to continue this negotiation
And
to
that's the
bring
part
that
where
price
then the
back
seller
down.
said, take a hike, you loser, no freaking way, we'll get it from someone else, right?
Right.
That's what happened in that story?
Exactly. No.
No, that's not that's not what
It's not what happened at all.
This is where the unicorn enters, and the unicorn is Leah's ability to get a deal together. And it's not a unicorn because she does it all the time. But in the realm of normal real estate in DFW, this is a mythical creature that no one else seems to be experiencing.
Yep. And I got one more for you too.
Unbelievable.
David on our team had some clients. They had previously been working with another agent. They decided that they no longer wanted to work with that other agent for whatever reasons they had. They reached out to us. We began working with them. They were under contract on a previous home. That fell out. David found them a property that was originally listed close to $470. And before we keep going on, remember the market we're in, right? Where homes sell, right? It was listed at $470. It dropped to $440, and it's not quite those numbers because it was priced at a weird number. Let's not get into that.
Right.
But it went under contract at $420. My math would say that's about $50,000 less than what the sellers were originally asking for.
Yep. And still $20,000 than what they, I'm sure, thought. There's no way that it'll sell any less than that, right?
This was in one of the most popular areas of Dallas.
Yeah. So that's the point we're making, and we may sound like we're over the top here, but the reason is we're looking at this every single day here on the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team, right? We're helping multiple buyers and sellers every single day of the year. So we are seeing how hard it is to get this done. We are seeing how absolutely rare it is for a buyer to buy a home below appraisal, below asking price, below anything. The buyers are overpaying left and right. Buyers are coming in $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60,000 over asking. And we are helping buyers get homes below market value. Not every single time. I want to be very, very clear about that, right? It's a big win to get a home right now.
Absolutely.
It is a big win to get a home under contract, period. But with regularity, our buyers agents, our world-class specialists who only work with buyers, are getting buyers under contract below asking price, below market value, and from time to time, even below appraisal, which is nuts.
So what are some of the things that they're doing? We're not going to give away all the secrets, but at the very beginning of the show, of the second part of the show, you said we're going to talk about the way that we can go about getting some of these wins. What's some of the stuff that's going on? I don't want to attack it from both sides.
Right.
On the buy side, what's some of the things that's happening? On the sell side, what's some of the things that are happening? And maybe as a team, what's some of the collaborative things that's going on?
Well, let me start by saying if you want results like that, head over to overunderagent.com. You fill out a little basic form there, and then we will get you plugged in with a full-time, dedicated, world-class expert real estate specialist on our team. What does that mean? If you're buying, we will find the right buyer specialist and have them reach out to you, and you can connect with David, Leah, Brandon, Ryan, Mari, whoever the right person is to take great care of you. If you're selling, then we will get you directly connected with Jeremy or John or the right person who is a specialist in your area or your price range or your property type, or who might understand your life stage and your goals and your needs right now. All you need to do is go to overunderagent.com, click on the little bubble or the contact us or any place you can submit a form, and just give us a little info about your story, and we will get you connected with one of those world-class experts. And then along with those experts, you'll get the entire amazing staff over here at the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team. Now, what are some things that people can do to win? Well, first of all, let me ask you a question, just a pretty obvious one here. Which buyer do you think has the best chance of getting their offer accepted? A buyer who decided last night that they want to buy, got in the car today, drove around, called a sign in the yard, told the seller that they wanted to see the house, got a chance to go see it, and now wants to throw together an offer. That person.
Okay.
Or a buyer who 3 weeks ago reached out to a real estate agent, had an hour to 2 hour Zoom call or in-office meeting, asked all their questions, figured out the limitations and desires and goals and clear limitations of what they want to do, spoke with the lender, got a full, detailed, documented pre-approval letter, spoke with an insurance specialist, got a very clear understanding of their overall budget and needs, and then began to put into works where they would move and when they would move and how they would move. And now that person has seen the same house and is putting together an offer with their team of specialists. Which of those two people do you think is more likely to be successful in this situation?
Second one seems a little too organized, so I'm going to go with option one.
And you, sir, are wrong.
Yeah,
It's
close. Was I close?
You were not close. No, it's laughable, but it's real. Most people are going with option one, right?
Yeah.
I became emotionally excited about buying a home, and I raced out into the battlefield, totally unprepared, and got murdered. Metaphorically ended me, right?
We have multiple people every single week that sign up on our website and want to look at homes on our website, and will send us an email saying, I'd like to go see that one, please.
Yep.
And then we speak to them and realize they haven't done anything yet to get prepared for this.
Right. And I would go so far as to say the consumer doesn't always know that they should.
No, I don't think
the real estate industry has trained buyers for generations to run out and look at houses. Run out and look at, meet me at the house, meet me at an open house, meet me at the house, meet me at a Starbucks, and then we'll go look at a house. That is not what's best for you if you're buying a home, ever. I was going to say in this market, but the truth is we've been meeting with buyers before going to look at houses for 18 plus years now.
I spoke with some great people that are now clients of ours that are looking at a new build, and they simply didn't know whether or not they needed an agent to help them through that. And sadly, they were told by the home builder,
Of course,
that it was going to be too late for them to add in a realtor to the transaction, which nothing had been signed. It was not too late whatsoever. And so we ended up meeting with them and talking with them, and they're now clients of ours. And they realized early on, I don't think this is best for us to do this alone. I think we need somebody that's going to really, really advocate for us throughout this entire thing.
it's so funny. I use this metaphor a lot, but it actually is a good parallel. It's sort of like getting involved in a huge lawsuit, walking into the courtroom and just being like, oh, I'll use the other side's lawyer.
Right.
I'll just have the person who's prosecuting me or is against me.
Right.
I'll just have them help me too.
They'll help me too, right?
Yeah. Of course the builder's going to tell you you don't need an agent. They would hate for you to have someone protecting you and advocating you and telling you that $24,000 granite upgrade is actually a $3,200 expense. So you could get it done yourself and save $21,000. So anyway, that's just one example. But the point is, you can win big in this market.
Yep.
You can win big as a buyer, and you certainly can win big as a seller. But I want to spend some time on that seller side, because people assume everyone is winning big as a seller in this market, and that is not true. Believe it or not, there are still homes that have gone on the market, sat on the market, failed to sell, and are going off the market.
We just gave you that one example of an insanely popular area of Dallas that didn't sell.
Yep. And that a lot of times is because a homeowner is trying to do that themselves, and they're well-intentioned and they're intelligent, but they're not a real estate expert.
Well, sadly, this one was they were working with an agent. It appears that was not able to advise them, and they were not being led.
Or you have a real estate agent that isn't willing, or usually it's capable, right? It doesn't mean they're stupid. It just means they're not an expert. Mm-hmm. They're an agent who works hard, probably, and is really well-intentioned, is probably really nice, but does not know skillfully what to do in these situations.
Yep.
This is a market that many, many, many have never seen before. In some statistical ways, it's a market that no one's ever seen before. But in a lot of ways, a skilled agent with a great team and history can make the clear adjustment and set up buyers and sellers for big wins. Let me just shorten this by saying there's a lot of sellers that, because of the market, are decreasing the importance of expertise in their own mind, and they're decreasing their net proceeds as well.
we're talking about sellers. If you are thinking about selling and have no idea where to begin, no idea what your home might be worth, a great place to start is by going to valuethishouse.com. In 60 seconds, in less than 60 seconds, you can find out what your home is worth or what it would rent for by going to valuethishouse.com. And if you get the information and you want something a little bit more detailed, a little bit more customized, if the information doesn't quite seem accurate, if you've done a bunch of repairs recently or upgrades, it might not be factored in. Reach out to us, let us know. We will touch base with you, and we will get you every single thing that you need. Valuethishouse.com.
Another piece of winning big in the real estate process are those vendors that get involved in the transaction that are either required or a really smart decision. And in Texas, one of those is a title company. And day in and day out, we see bad title companies ruin transactions. Republic Title, on the other hand, is an excellent title company. If you have need for a title company, which means if you're buying, selling, investing, or even refinancing, you're going to need a title company in the state of Texas. They're going to issue that title insurance policy that ensures that the property has been bought and sold legally and correctly and recorded correctly throughout its history. And they're going to protect you and your ownership. So republictitle.com, if you're looking for a great title company that does what they say they're going to do, does it on time, and does it with a positive attitude, republictitle.com. All over the Metroplex, republictitle.com.
What do you feel like has happened or hasn't happened that you expected to since all the election stuff was over? Do you feel like the market is exactly where you thought it was going to be? Do you think anything has changed differently as, you know, we're in a different government now? And so, or is it pretty much, you know, what you thought it would be?
This is a tough answer. I'm going to say this. The attitude and tone of our clients has changed. Now, we're talking on an AM talk radio station right now, right? And so there is at least a large percentage of our clients tend to come from a conservative, mindset. Not all of them, by the way. We're thrilled to help people of all kinds and all places do all sorts of cool things, as long as we have the expertise to help you. But the attitude of lots of our buyers and sellers is slightly less optimistic right now. In some ways, that's why we're doing this radio show, right? Let's talk about ways you can still win big, because more people are thinking that they might not be able to win big, right? There's slightly less optimism in the market. There's more fear in the market. And many people have told us that has a lot to do with shift in politics, right? That's just what we are hearing from people who call us, not necessarily just off the radio, the internet, our events, our signs, our repeat and referral business. But I would say we are seeing what I predicted. And that doesn't mean I'm super smart. That just says this is basically what we expected. And that is the switch in politics hasn't changed the statistics of the market. It is still unbelievably, fantastically low inventory, meaning there's very, very few homes on the market. We still have lots of buyers wanting those homes, and we still have a tremendous amount of confusion from buyers and sellers. Now, I'm not one that always believes that politics drives mortgage interest rates, right? But interest rates have crept up lately. Not wildly up, but they are noticeably up from their all-time lows.
Enough to make a difference.
Enough to make a difference, right? Now, they may slide back down. They might slide up a little bit more. If you're a buyer and you were waiting for a better time to buy than 3 weeks ago, your house just got more expensive. Borrowing the money for your house just got more expensive. By the way, the house actually got more expensive too. So that hurt you two ways. And it seems to be that the smart people think that trend could continue. I absolutely think home values are going to continue to go up. Smart people think that interest rates could continue to go up a little bit too. So if you're going to want to buy, don't wait unless you and your family and your finances are not ready. But if you and your family and your finances are ready, now is the time to get that done.
Yeah, I think it's such a valuable and important piece that everybody needs to remember.
Okay, folks, overunderagent.com is where you want to go to contact the Todd Tremonti home selling team. We guarantee to sell homes over the average price and under the average time. Absolutely guarantee it. In this market, in a buyer's market, in a stable market, in every market. Todd Tremonti, me, I guarantee you that these amazing team members that work with us here in our Dallas and Fort Worth offices both, we will sell your home over the average price and under the average time. Guarantee it right now. We're getting buyers under contract about every other day right now. We're putting a buyer under contract on a house about every other day right now. Not just business days, every other day of the calendar. So if you're a buyer and you're freaking out right now and you're thinking there's no way I can get under contract, or we've tried 27 times, feel free to reach out to us online. Overunderagent.com. Overunderagent.com for buyers and sellers. We are getting buyers under contract all the time. And of course, we're breaking all-time records for our sellers.
We had some clients of ours that went over there, right? They needed a reminder of all the vendors that we work with, and we had helped them buy a house, and the wife really struggled with allergies, had really, really bad allergies. The house they bought was not ideal in the sense that it had cats that was there. It was, it needed a really, really good deep clean. And so we reached out to our friends at Dandy Duct Cleaning, and they came in, and because they were clients of ours, they got a complimentary hospital-grade antibacterial misting throughout the entire house, which is so, so great, especially in this era of COVID, plus all the allergies that were going on. So they got that all for free, and then they got a full duct cleaning experience to where it basically made the house new again.
Yeah,
right.
They certainly made the air quality
absolutely.
New again. Yeah.
They didn't struggle with any of the things they thought they were going to struggle with, and it was such a huge thing for them to know that they would be able to sleep easy at night, that the air quality was so, so good. Dandy Duct Cleaning. You can reach them by going to either dandyductcleaning.com, dandyductcleaning.com, or by calling 214-385-2650, 214-385-2650.
Hey folks, if we can ever help you at the Todd Tremonti home selling team, of course, if we can earn your business to help you buy or sell or invest, or if you just have a question about real estate, call or text anytime, 214-310-0008, or find us online at overunderagent.com. For the Todd Tremonti home selling team, again, that's overunderagent.com. Remember, folks, we only recommend professionals that we have had a great experience with or our clients. So go check out Patrick Glaros Mortgage Team, Nations Home Warranty, DP Lambert with Goosehead Insurance, Republic Title, and Dandy Duct Cleaning. Find them all online at overunderagent.com. We'll be back next week, 3 p.m., right here on WBAP.